I recently came across an article in The Atlantic called "No One Cares." It captured my attention, and as I read on, I realized it's about our own caring about what other people think and how it is just so debilitating. And so the title is "No One Cares." Wow. And I thought it would be a great topic for this week of stop. What if I stopped? What if you stopped? What if you stopped caring about what other people think? And so I dove in a little bit. I took some time with this one because it's a huge subject to talk about in 6 minutes or less. And so, one, go and look at the show notes. I'll put the link to this great article there. And two is it really, really, really comes down to number one, stop judging ourselves. Well, stop judging, one, ourselves, and two, other people. And so I thought about this in this huge topic that I can't possibly get through in just one episode, but just to keep it simple, to say, all right, well, if you want, Kara, talking to myself, if you want to stop caring so much about what other people think, then one, stop judging others. Stop judging. Catch yourself judging, in judgment of those unconscious biases. Let's bring them to the surface. And it starts by just nailing the conscious biases, the stuff that just comes across our mind, when we see people wearing a certain type of outfit or driving a certain type of car. I mean, it's as petty as that. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And so for today, it's really, if we want to stop caring so much about what other people think about us, well, number one, we need to stop judging. So I want to offer you this suggestion of, for the next 3 days, or whenever you choose to start this, if you do, is just to be hyper vigilant about how you judge others. Okay, so that's number one. And so what this article goes on to say is that we can continue to recognize that no one is really caring out there when we allow ourselves to be a little embarrassed. This writer goes on to tell a story about how he is a professor, and one day he realized that his fly was open for a 90-minute class lecture that he taught. And he said at first he was squeamish, and then he thought, okay, well, that just set me free, because now I don't have to care because I just taught a whole class with my fly undone. So, something to think about. He suggests, think about, what am I hiding that I am a little embarrassed about? And then bring that out into the open. Right? So we can stop judging others, and then we can allow ourselves to be a little embarrassed. So I am still working with this one. I will get back to you because I sat with it myself. And there are a couple of things I was a little squeamish about, but not quite ready to unveil. But I will. And I encourage you to do the same. So there's a couple of things that we can do, right, to not care what other people think. We can stop judging others, and then we can also start to allow our little idiosyncrasies to come out, our little quirks, those little things that we're embarrassed about. So Lao Tzu says that when we care about people's approval, we will be their prisoner. That's kind of bold, right? When we care about what other people think, we will be their prisoner, whether they know it or not. We will be their prisoner. So for today, in this week of What If I Stopped, I encourage you to play with this, to stop judging and to stop caring what other people think, because no one cares anyway, according to this Atlantic article. And of course, that's a pretty bold statement. People do care about you. But people aren't watching you the way you think they're watching you. And so there it is. And there's one last thing that I just want to mention in my little bit of research on this topic. There were two pieces of advice I thought that were helpful just to do. They're pretty easy to do, I think, for the most part. Distance yourself from judgy people. Right? If you don't want to feel judged, distance yourself from judgy people. Now, if you're married to one, that's going to be a little challenging, right? But if it's people that you can at least protect yourself from a little bit, then do it. And then the second thing was to clean up your news feed in your social media, in your YouTube. You know, if you stop clicking on certain things, you'll stop seeing them. But if there are certain people that you just don't, that trigger you, you know what? Just unfollow them, unfriend them, and allow that to dissipate. All right, so there was a lot there. So one, check out the show notes for the Atlantic article, No One Cares. Two, perhaps use the next 3 days to stop judging others and to catch yourself. And then allow some of those little quirky things that you're embarrassed about, or big things, to start to surface and come out into the open. There you go. Maybe walk around the day with your fly open and just let it be. Thank you for being here. This is fun. I hope that you're having a little bit of fun as well.